Now let's talk about what's really going on. You see, this whole issue started after reports came out that some United States lawmakers and organizations were raising concerns about how the Nigerian government handles security and human rights issues. But what shocked everyone was when Honor Agwocha came out to say that IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, is the one secretly influencing these talks in America, trying to make the US government tag Nigeria as a terrorist state. When Nigerians heard this, many people were confused. Some said, wait, how can IPOB even have that kind of influence in America? Others said, if what Agwocha is saying is true, then this is a big problem. Because imagine another country calling Nigeria a terrorist state. The effect would be massive. It could affect our international image, our economy, and even how other countries do business or cooperate with us. Before I go further, please, my people, if you are enjoying this gist so far, kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. It helps this channel grow and it allows us to bring you more fresh updates like this one every day. All right, let's continue. Now, back to the matter. For those who may not know, IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, has been in the news for years now. They want a separate nation called Biafra, made up mostly of the southeast region of Nigeria. The leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has been in and out of court, facing terrorism-related charges. The group was declared a terrorist organization by the Nigerian government back in 2017. But IPOB has always denied that label. They say they are peaceful and that they only want freedom and fairness. So now, when the presidency through Honor Agwocha is accusing IPOB of trying to influence the United States to tag Nigeria a terrorist state, it's like turning the whole argument around. Because the government already called IPOB a terrorist group, and now they're saying IPOB is trying to get the US to call Nigeria the terrorist state. It's a serious back and forth, and many Nigerians are watching closely to see what will happen next. From what we're hearing, this accusation came after some reports surfaced that certain international organizations have been lobbying or sending petitions to the US Congress, claiming that the Nigerian government is not handling certain situations properly, especially in terms of security, justice, and human rights. Some of these reports allegedly mention issues happening in the southeast, where IPOB has a strong following. Now, Honor Agwocha, who represents a constituency in Abia State, came out strongly. He said that these reports are not just random. He believes they are being sponsored or influenced by IPOB members abroad. According to him, IPOB is using its international network to paint Nigeria in a bad light before the US government, so that foreign powers will put pressure on Nigeria or even impose sanctions. Many Nigerians are reacting differently. Some are supporting Agwocha, saying it's time people stop destroying the image of Nigeria abroad. Others, however, are asking the government to provide proof. They say accusations like this are serious and should come with evidence, not just political talk. Before we go further, if you're just joining this gist, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. It's free and it helps a lot. Also, drop a comment below. Do you think IPOB really has that kind of influence on US lawmakers? Let's know what you think. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. Some international observers have actually been questioning Nigeria's handling of certain crises, especially in the southeast and middle belt regions. There have been allegations of human rights violations by security agencies, and IPOB has been very vocal about it. They often share videos and reports online to show what they call oppression against their people. So for Honor Agwocha to say that IPOB is influencing the US, it could mean that the group's media and lobbying activities abroad are beginning to gain attention. Remember, IPOB has branches and supporters in several countries, including the US, the UK, and Canada. They organize protests, send petitions, and even hold press conferences. Some of these events are covered by international media. The Nigerian government has always viewed that as dangerous, because if a group is declared unlawful at home but still operates freely abroad, it could create a diplomatic tension. And that's what seems to be happening now. Meanwhile, IPOB's camp has not stayed silent. they've been responding through their spokespersons, saying the government is only trying to distract Nigerians from more pressing issues like insecurity, inflation, and unemployment. They insist that they have nothing to do with trying to make the US label Nigeria a terrorist state. In their words, they said, "We are fighting for freedom, not against Nigeria. We are against oppression, not the people." This statement has divided public opinion even more. Some people say IPOB's communication abroad might not be aimed at labeling Nigeria negatively. They might just be presenting their side of the story. But the government sees it differently. They see it as an international smear campaign. If you are enjoying this gist and you want us to continue breaking it down, please like the video now and make sure you subscribe. It encourages us to keep digging deeper and bringing you detailed updates every time. Now, the reason this whole issue is trending so strongly right now is because Nigeria's image on the global stage has become a sensitive topic. Every time a foreign organization or US politician mentions Nigeria in relation to insecurity or terrorism, it sparks debate at home. The government feels that such comments make the country look unstable, while critics say it's a wake-up call for authorities to fix issues internally. Recently, there have even been bills proposed in the US Congress concerning Nigeria's human rights record. Some lawmakers like Senator Ted Cruz have expressed concerns about how religious minorities are treated and about violence in some regions. While those discussions are broader than just IPOB, the Nigerian government believes that IPOB's lobbying efforts are part of what fuels that narrative. If this continues, it could affect Nigeria's relationship with the United States, especially in areas like military cooperation, trade, and aid. So when the presidency made this accusation, it wasn't just random. It was a warning signal, both to IPOB and to Nigerians abroad who might be participating in international advocacy. But the big question people are asking is this: does IPOB really have that much influence to shape how America sees Nigeria? Because remember, the US deals with governments, not groups. For the US to officially tag a country as a terrorist state, that's a huge diplomatic decision. And it's usually based on official investigations, not just advocacy or online campaigns. Still, what the presidency is trying to point out is that perception matters. Even if the US doesn't officially label Nigeria as a terrorist state, if public opinion in America begins to see Nigeria as a place of oppression or insecurity, that could damage Nigeria's reputation internationally. My people, this is where the conversation gets emotional, because this issue touches on identity, justice, and the unity of the country. Some Nigerians believe that IPOB is only reacting to years of marginalization, while others say their methods, like sit-at-home orders and confrontations with security agencies, have made things worse. Whichever side you're on, one thing is clear. This new accusation by Hon. Agocha is adding more heat to an already tense situation. Please, if you're finding this gist interesting, don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our work and keeps you updated on everything happening around the country. So, after Hon. Agocha made that statement accusing IPOB of influencing the United States, political analysts began reacting immediately. Some said it's not impossible because IPOB has always been very active internationally. They have lobbyists, media representatives, and even lawyers working in different countries to push their message about alleged injustice against the Southeast. They organize town hall meetings in America and Europe, and they also attend international human rights events. Now, the argument from Hon. Agocha and the presidency is that these activities are being twisted into something dangerous. That IPOB isn't just seeking sympathy anymore, but is trying to convince powerful governments to punish Nigeria. According to them, IPOB's real goal is to weaken Nigeria's global reputation so that foreign nations will isolate the country and pressure the government to give in to their demands. But here's where it gets complicated. Nigeria already has a lot of internal challenges, from insecurity to economic hardship. So when someone abroad starts talking about these same issues, it can sound convincing. That's why IPOB's activities abroad easily gain attention. When they say people are being treated unfairly, or when they post videos online of security operations, foreign observers sometimes believe those narratives before hearing Nigeria's official side of the story. Meanwhile, the government feels frustrated because, from their view, IPOB is using partial truths to damage the country's image. They claim IPOB members often exaggerate incidents or edit videos to make Nigeria look like a lawless country. The presidency believes that this is part of a coordinated plan to make the world turn against Nigeria. And truly, if that happens, it could have serious consequences. If Nigeria loses international credibility, it can affect tourism, trade, and even foreign aid. Some countries might begin to treat Nigerians abroad differently simply because of negative global perception. That's why the presidency sees this as a national security concern, not just a political disagreement. Before I go further, my people, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Your support means everything to us, and it helps us continue bringing these deep and balanced updates straight to you. Now, let's look at how the United States might respond to all this. From experience, the US government doesn't just act based on one group's claims. They rely on verified information, reports from the embassy, and investigations from human rights organizations. But public lobbying can still influence US lawmakers. If IPOB or any other group convinces enough senators or members of Congress to raise concerns about Nigeria, it can push certain resolutions or sanctions forward, even if it doesn't officially label Nigeria a terrorist state. And we've seen this kind of thing happen before. Back in 2021, there were calls from some US advocacy groups asking Washington to put Nigeria on a religious freedom watch list. Those groups claimed Christians were being persecuted in parts of the country. Nigeria's government strongly rejected it, saying it was misinformation. But that same kind of advocacy is what Honor Agwocha believes IPOB is now fueling again, this time with even stronger intentions. At the same time, IPOB has also been responding through its spokespersons, saying that it's the Nigerian government itself that's giving the country a bad image by violating people's rights and silencing dissenting voices. They claim that instead of blaming them, the presidency should focus on fixing insecurity, ending corruption, and ensuring fairness for all Nigerians. That statement sparked another wave of reactions. Some Nigerians agreed with IPOB's point, saying government policies are part of why international bodies criticize Nigeria. Others warned that IPOB's international campaigns could create diplomatic tension that may hurt everyone, not just the government. Another angle that's been trending online is the question of whether the Nigerian government should engage IPOB in dialogue instead of confrontation. Many analysts believe the government's current approach, labeling IPOB as a terrorist organization and arresting its leaders, might not bring peace. They suggest that dialogue and understanding could solve more than arrests and accusations. But that idea remains controversial, especially among government officials who see IPOB as a direct threat to national unity. If you are still following this gist, thank you so much. Please take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps more people see this video and keeps us growing. Now, one major concern for ordinary Nigerians is how this whole issue might affect international relations. If the United States or any other Western country starts acting cold toward Nigeria because of reports like these, it could impact everything from visas to business partnerships. That's why some Nigerians are calling on the government to handle this matter carefully and to improve its image abroad. There's also talk about how Nigerian embassies abroad should be more active in defending the country's reputation. Some people are saying our diplomats need to engage international media and explain Nigeria's side of the story, not just stay silent while groups like IPOB dominate the conversation online. Meanwhile, inside Nigeria, this whole issue is deepening the divide between people who support the government and those who sympathize with IPOB's calls for self-determination. In the southeast, some people see Agwocha's comment as an attack on the Igbo people, while others think it's a necessary warning against what they call foreign manipulation. In truth, The issue has gone beyond politics. It's now about Nigeria's image, unity, and identity. And that's what makes it so emotional. You can't talk about IPOB without touching on history, the Biafran War, the feeling of marginalization, and the quest for fairness. That's why this headline has become so powerful and controversial at the same time. Before I continue, please don't forget, if you're enjoying this gist, like this video right now and subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, do you think IPOB has that kind of international power to influence the US, or is this just another political statement to divert attention from other national issues?